we're just going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have a roundtable discussion, just kind of bullshit. We have no topic, no idea what we're going to discuss.
Welcome to the first ever mouth melting podcast.
Well, it's too short to be a podcast. Welcome to the mouth melting disappointment that is our lives. How's that?
That's a good point.
All right, so actually, I realized something when we were filming earlier. This is Matt. Me and Jonathan, Steve and Chuck, I should say, mentioned that Matt brought us the chips that we're eating. He didn't actually introduce himself in his video because his mouth was on fire and he forgot.
I didn't?
No, it's all right. Wow. So, either way, so we're going to just eat some chips and we're going to see what happens. So,
no.
What's up?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, cool. All right, so here's the question.
It's like the more exposure to like air you get in your mouth, the hotter they get.
Yeah,
definitely.
I was all right during the review, but they're getting to me. So you mentioned, Resident Evil, like the original PlayStation and the remake on GameCube plus the HD remaster being like your favorite game, one of your favorite games in the series. And you also mentioned at the end Resident Evil 7. What are you excited about that or anything else coming out in the near future?
Damn it, I haven't played the demo.
You need to.
Yet.
You need to.
I can sit down with you and play through
We
it.
just played through it.
But yeah, Resident Evil 7. Oh wow.
I got choked as fuck.
It like immediately went through the nose.
Same here.
But yeah, Resident Evil 7. My back at E3 when they showed it off, my initial knee-jerk reaction was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I'm not playing this. Looks too much like Outlast and
PT.
I really thought it was trying to like do a knockoff of PT there for a second, but apparently it had been in development way longer than when they were doing PT.
They had like the kitchen demo.
Yeah, which I haven't gotten to try, but
You all right over there?
I didn't pace myself. I need a drink.
Okay.
I'm a bitch.
All right. So going back to RE7 though, I think what everybody's initial knee-jerk reaction to that was it's in first person. Like,
oh sure.
What is this? Isn't Resident Evil, which is the same thing that hardcore fans kind of went through back when Resident Evil 4 came out because it was a completely different game. It was still third person, but it completely shifted the way not only you saw your characters and interacted in the world, but just the way the game itself functioned.
Sure.
So my thing is like with a lot of games, including the Resident Evil series, I have kind of I'm going to say like a little bit of a skewed view regarding when I started playing. So like a lot of people started playing the first Resident Evil. They
Right.
started with that.
Right.
I did not. I started with 3, which
Okay.
oh god damn, this is fucking hot. Which,
You get a baby chip.
which a lot of guys and gals, they would say, alright, well that's the shittiest game you could fucking play.
Probably, yeah.
Well, I don't know. At this point, it's a toss-up between that and 5. In
oh,
my
6
opinion.
is way worse. But
6 is
well-
my least favorite.
6 is a big old pile of dog shit. 6 is what happens when you decide to throw literally everything and the kitchen sink
into a
something.
game, yeah. So, but I started with 3, and then you actually introduced me to Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
And then when I finally got the opportunity to play through that, I loved that. That was an awesome game. And a lot of people say, all right, well, it deviates from the original formula. And it does. And going back and playing through, it does. I can see the differences. However, it did kind of unleash a bunch of unholy dog shit into the series.
Well, in saying that, you're a good example of, even though you did play 3 first, you're a great example of a lot of like modern gamers at this point in time where 4 is not only their favorite, but their first like entry into the series. And that's what it was Mikami, right? That did it? That made 4?
Yes.
Shinji Mikami.
Shinji Mikami.
So that's what Mikami was wanting to do. Like he went through, and if you look it up, Resident Evil 3.5, he went through several incantations or incarnations, I should say, of Resident Evil 4, and they were all pretty much more the same. It was a little bit different, which there's one particular version I prefer, but still, what he went for in changing things up was that kind of broad stroke. So he wanted to kind of branch everything out and really capture a new audience because he knew that the people that were fans would buy it. What he wanted to do was capture like a new audience, and
Definitely.
you are a great example of that audience that was captured. They own it.
So, go ahead, man.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that, like, part of our reason that I played RE3, I played it for probably about an hour, and I put it down, and I didn't touch it again for several years. Part of that had to do with the control scheme. I did not like tank controls at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
I have since gotten used to that, and with like playing Code Veronica, which is so it's a toss-up between Code Veronica and RE4 as to which one's my favorite. I think I'm gonna lean towards Code Veronica.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I hate talking my mouth full, but that is one of the most underrated, not just games in that series, but games ever. All right, go ahead.
No, keep going.
I was gonna say, basically, for people that aren't aware, there was a deal in place that Sony had with Capcom that basically, legally, Capcom had to release any numbered entry into the series on the PlayStation. Well, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, as we know it, was being developed as a side story for the PlayStation titled simply Resident Evil Nemesis. And there was a different Resident Evil 3 that was being developed for the Dreamcast, which we now know as Code Veronica. So what happened was, Sony got pissed off at Capcom because they were developing the new full-fledged sequel to the series on a completely different console, a competitor's console. As a result, they played their trump card and said, look, you have to put 3 on PlayStation. Well, there's no way to get Code Veronica on PlayStation.
Right.
So they just swapped the names, and it became Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil Code Veronica. So as a result, people have, for whatever reason, treated Code Veronica as like the redheaded stepchild, when in reality it should be Nemesis that kind of catches the short end of the stick, even though, I mean, I like it too. But that game is really good. It brought back Wesker, which was a huge like story point for the rest of the series
as well.
Chris and Claire were both back. I mean, in 3, Jill came back as well, so I'm not, saying simply characters, but that game did more of like what 1 and 2 did, but it put a completely different spin on it. And 3 was more of an action game, so it kind of made sense for 4 to come after, but
Not to cut you off, but to a certain extent, RE2 was deviating towards being an action game.
It was, you're right.
But here's the thing with Code Veronica, and I don't think I can eat another chip, I'm getting nauseous.
Don't throw up.
I'm nauseous.
That's a rule.
But yeah, Code Veronica, looking back in hindsight, I see tons of people that just hate that game.
Yeah.
But not just because of its difficulty, because I used to think it was the most difficult, but I think Resident Evil 0 might be the most difficult for me because of the team aspect and dropping items. Yeah, just it didn't. Okay, it aesthetically and just with the certain like elements that they were unique, but that game just doesn't click with me, especially 1 and 2 and Code Veronica. Code Veronica, I probably list as my 3rd favorite in the series.
Okay. Behind 1 and 2, I'm guessing.
Yeah, 2's gonna always be my favorite.
Yeah.
And then 1. I always switch back and forth if I like the original more or the remake.
Right.
I kind of lean towards the remake more.
Oh yeah.
But I love the original just so much because of how cheesy it is.
Yeah.
But to a certain extent, the remake does contain some of the cheesiness.
It does retain some of it. It's good. It's a balance.
But RE4, when I played the demo, which I still have,
Oh God, yeah.
played the crap out of it. You're in the village, you fight the.
Ganados.
Yeah, but what was the name of the guy with the chainsaw?
Mr.
Sackface.
What the fuck was his name?
Doesn't matter.
I just thought he was like just called the Executioner or something. But
He
my knowledge
has a name.
for RE4 is not, I don't know. It's just I don't know that much about like the backstory of that game compared to 1 and 2. But for 4, I played the demo so many times before it came out. I think it was like January 2005, and when I got the full game, played that village party, and I was like, oh man, it's just great. Same stuff. And then once you leave the village and then I start playing the new stuff, I'm just like, this game's not really clicking with me. But I'll say that it's a fantastic game, and I would like to go back and play it again. It's been